I reached Diamond 5 as a tank, with damage and support in Platinum. And I did it without having godlike aim or reaction speeds that rival Sonic. Let's talk about that journey. But first, what is your experience with shooter games? I started Overwatch 2 almost a year ago. Mind you that this is my first competitive first-person shooter. And I tried Valorant before, but that game just made me as depressed as playing League of Legends. When I first started Overwatch 2, my lack of aim was quickly the biggest issue that I had, or so I thought. Let's turn back time a little bit. In my young Xbox gaming days, I played a little game called Gears of War 2. It's a third-person shooter, and if you ever just want to feel like you want to hunt lizards with guns while playing as a fridge with a chainsaw that shoots, this is your game. In Gears of War, your usual shooter mechanics apply. You take cover, stay down, and grab different weapons. Sure, I had to aim in this game, but there's no ranking system, so I had no objective way of approximating my skill level. And this is all the shooter experience I have. If casual gaming was the only experience I had, there's no fucking way I could have climbed this much. I'm a long-time League player. I feel like I just confessed something illegal. But I've been clean for a long time now. I just played League casually for a long time until I decided one day to start improving like crazy. And League is a hard game. There's a lot of competition, and I feel like you have to be able to meditate like Zenyatta if you even want to play League. Let alone actively improve. Or else you'll just turn into this raging guy. Yep. If you've ever climbed to a high rank in League, and you're saying that you did it without any effort, you're fucking lying out of your ass. There's no way anyone these days, without any prior gaming experience, can pick up League, understand the interaction between 168 champions, each one of them have 5 abilities, runes, items, summoner spells, map states, and not just thinking about your own character, but also how the other 9 people interact with other 9 people. And I did that grind. Learned every champion, every little intricacy in the game. And what did that amount to? Mild depression, a shiny border, the inability to play casually with friends, and the improvement mindset for ranking. Apparently, reaching Diamond in Overwatch 2 is not the same thing as reaching Diamond in League. Some even call reaching Diamond, quote-unquote, bad. Look at this little monkey trying to communicate. Who's a cute little monkey? There are barely any voices in the Overwatch 2 community that can slightly relate to the majority of players. And all of the Overwatch content creators are just these super high-ranked veterans of the game that just spew nonsense that's not in your interest if you're low and even average rank. And in League, I like to believe that a good chunk of players can see that. The gap in skill and knowledge is so big that it's impossible to relate between each other. But I already have a video about that, so let's move on. How did I move up in ranks in Overwatch 2? This game are a bunch of people who are actually trying to improve, just seem to stay in a certain rank despite their best efforts. It's all a pyramid scheme. No, not the economic one. You need to really hammer in the fundamentals of Overwatch 2. Depending on what other Overwatch 2 creators you're watching, these fundamentals kinda change, and there's no good or concrete answer yet to what the actual fundamentals are. The concept of a fundamental is that based on the lowest level, which is also the widest level, you'll want to spend the most time there, and you'll see improvements on everything above that level. I also feel like the fundamentals change based on what hero you're playing, but I'm sure there's other smarter analysts than me that know. Let's say that you're a D.Va main, and that you want to learn how to defense matrix a Zarya ult. I could not think of a more useless skill that you could put your time into. It's incredibly difficult to pull off consistently, and it's a thing you can only do a couple times per game. Now, if you were able to track ults, held good corners, had amazing resource management, maybe you can start eating Zarya ults consistently. But you have to be able to do all of the other things first. The fundamentals that I used are from A10. Corners, cooldowns, teammates, objectives checks, and enemies. Okay, the last one I jammed in there myself. I probably also should put aiming and actually shooting somewhere in there, but oh well. Go check out this video if you want to know more. Even watching this player when I was a silver player, I was having a hard time actually understanding what all of these fundamentals meant, and how I was even supposed to implement them in my games. The game, after all, is pure chaos, and especially in the lower ranks. People just do the most random and outlandish shit that you can imagine. But really think about it. What's the most important thing you need to be learning in Overwatch 2? There's no one set of fundamentals. Craft your own. Find concepts that you can improve on that will help you in any situation. After all, there's lots and lots of different and creative ways that you can win and climb. What worked for me might not work for you. And this transitions nicely into the difference between deliberate practice and passive practice. Deliberate practice is where you really focus in on a goal that you want to focus on. Passive practice, on the other hand, is just opening the game and chilling without really thinking about anything. It's the people that say, just play more to improve. Remember SMART goals from school? It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. And I fucking hated these back in school. They taught it in such a bad way that it just became a thorn in my side rather than a helpful tool. And years later, I finally understand how to use it effectively and turn a brain-dead Overwatch 2 session into a useful learning experience. Let's say that you want to become a Platinum player. That's a horrible goal to have. Not that I'm saying that trying to reach Plat is a bad thing. I'm talking about how the goal is phrased. You don't want to become a Platinum player out of nowhere. You could literally just go out and buy a Platinum account if you really wanted to. No, ranks are a fluid thing, meaning that it comes and goes in waves. You sometimes get win streaks and go up fast, and you sometimes get lose streaks and drop hard. Even without these streaks, you kinda just float between ranks. Setting your goals like that will only lead you to quickly flaming your mercy for not healing harder. Ranks are a consequence of your skill and not a goal on its own. What you need are skills that stay with you no matter the status of your account, or even what game you're playing. Who knows, maybe you'll get better in Once Human by practicing something in Overwatch. I like setting small goals that I focus on each game. Goals like, I want to die less than 4 times this game without enemies trading anything for my life. And I kept setting these mini goals until I eventually learned a lot of the simple things to a level that I wanted. You can break down these super complex things like positioning and timing if you just answer the super simple questions, like solving how not to get headshot by a Hanzo. The other important part of climbing is what I refer to as the metagame. Not playing Overwatch 2 is also part of climbing, and it seems counterintuitive. How can you learn if you're not doing the thing that you're trying to improve? Well, it's similar to going to the gym. The gym is where you train and improve yourself, but the rest of the day really dictates how effective all of that training is. How often are you training in a week? Are you eating a whole food diet? Are you getting enough high quality sleep? Do you live a at least moderately active lifestyle, or do you just sit in a chair all day after going to the gym? Do you take the elevator instead of the stairs after leg day? It's the same in Overwatch. After every game, do you immediately queue up again and say to yourself, I got fucking trolled by my tank again? Are you watching tutorials or tips and tricks videos outside of your playing time? Are you taking care of yourself in real life? All of these things matter. How you are in the game reflects how you feel in real life. Playing bad or having an off day, maybe you're tired in real life in one way or another. Sometimes off days happen too for no apparent reason, and that's okay, just try again another day. You need something else that keeps you busy besides playing Overwatch all day. Playing too much Overwatch can also lead to developing bad habits. It's harder to unlearn bad habits than to immediately learn good habits from scratch. Sometimes life gets busy, but try to play at least 1 or 2 games every day if you're really trying to improve. Takes maybe 30 minutes a day or something, 40 to 50 if you're unlucky, even if you're not feeling like it, and even if you feel like you're going to lose. Ranks are fluid. You can get back whatever rank you lost. Just take the L. Your muscle memory will thank you for it. I might just drop back to gold if I lose enough games. Who knows? But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you've already climbed uphill before, and you learn a bunch of these skills that people in the lower ranks don't have. And on a good day of grinding comp, you can just stomp everyone like bugs and get that rank back that you lost. Maybe even go beyond. Hardware is also a really big part of the puzzle. If you don't have a proper desk, or playing area, and you sit in a couch with horrible posture, on a tiny screen with colors that are off, with an unstable frame rate of around 24, and a mouse that registers mouse movements incorrectly. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Get a proper setup. Doesn't even have to look like a streamer's gaming room that costs as much as my student does. Just a simple desk, office chair, some kind of mechanical keyboard probably, gaming mouse, okay monitor, and at least a refresh rate of 60. Preferably 144 or 165. Console players, make sure that you don't have any input lag from your TV. Either put it in low latency mode or just play on a monitor. Stable and fast internet is important as well. No point in trying to improve if you're moving a lot like Vanellope from Sweet from Wreck-It Ralph. Overwatch creators and high-ranking people like to put everyone that's not a professional player into the term medal ranks, which is incredibly unhelpful. Let's talk about how I perceived everyone in different ranks in Overwatch 2 as of 2024. In Bronze, there's a wide variety of people struggling with all kinds of things. Some are just casuals, others have no good setup, and maybe here and there you'll find someone actually trying to learn but is stuck in there for some reason or another. People in this rank mostly don't know what heroes do, nor do they know the map. People in Silver are starting to understand what's happening around them, but mostly still have no clue what everyone does or what 3/4 of the map actually looks like. The difference with Bronze though is that these players usually have an okay setup, so they can actually see what's happening in game, or they have a background in other shooters already. Which is crazy to think about, that the second lowest rank already has people in it that can kill you almost instantly. Their biggest weakness though is not letting go of their preconceived notions of how you should approach shooter games, or just not knowing about the game in general. Now gold is where it actually starts. Is what you'd be thinking if you were a silver player. But people in gold are just silvers who just started to learn that you can kill people with your ultimate button. People in this rank usually have a good grasp of what all the heroes do, and they know several flanking points, choke points, and health packs of the maps. This is a rank where it's really time to focus in and start learning whatever hero you want to make. Really know the intricacies of important mechanics of Overwatch, get some map knowledge, common flanking rounds, and high grounds, things like that. Now, Platinum is where things get really spicy. Despite what elitists might say about Platinum players, if you stand out in the open like a fucking blue-sniffing idiot, no matter if you're a chunky tank, you will die in seconds in Platinum. People can smell your weakness here, and if you expose your ass, you're dead. People in this rank are usually missing some kind of fundamental or have a big major flaw in their play that's exploitable. It might not be obvious at first, but you'll definitely have bad habits or are missing something that you can identify by watching your own replays. Platinum players are also starting to get a grasp of good positioning, playing to your team strength while playing to the enemy's weaknesses. And now, we're finally in Diamond, where I'm at right now. And I noticed that there's not really anything new here. Maybe there is and I'm just not aware of it. But everything I've learned in Platinum is executed really tightly by almost every player in the lobby. In this rank, you can expect people to be very consistent. With the occasional crazy guy that's kind of bad in positioning and timing, but he just shoots and somehow wins fights he's not supposed to be winning. What the fuck? People in here have a plan, and they execute it fast with high accuracy. Make a tiny mistake and it's back to the spawn room view. And that's in a nutshell my journey to Diamond in Overwatch 2. If you want me to go more in depth about what I learned, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if the video was interesting, and I'll see you next time.